The rain had started before sunrise. Heavy Mumbai rain, the kind that floods narrow streets, leaks through old roofs, and makes already difficult lives feel even heavier. Arjun stood under the weak metal shade outside a small train station tea stall, staring at his phone. 3 missed calls from his mother, 2 messages from the landlord, 1 bank notification. Low account balance. He closed his eyes slowly. For the past 8 months, life had felt like a punishment. At 32 years old, Arjun had lost his marketing job during company layoffs. At first, he told himself it was temporary, but weeks became months. Months became humiliation. Every morning he woke up promising himself he would try harder. Every night he slept feeling smaller. His savings disappeared. His confidence disappeared. Even his voice had changed. He spoke softer now, like someone apologizing for existing. Inside his backpack were printed resumes already wet from the rain. Nobody wanted them. Nobody wanted him. Across the road, people rushed through puddles holding umbrellas, heading toward offices, meetings, important lives. Arjun watched them silently. He used to be one of them. Now he avoided eye contact with former co-workers, especially after seeing their LinkedIn promotions. Senior manager, team lead, new startup founder. Everyone seemed to be moving forward except him. His phone vibrated again. "Mother," he answered quietly. "Ma." Her voice sounded tired. "Did you eat?" That question broke something inside him. Indian mothers always ask that question when they know something is wrong. Yes. It was a lie. There was a pause, then she spoke gently. The electricity bill came again. Arjun pressed his lips together. "I'll send money soon." Another lie. Back in their village near Varanasi, his mother still believed her son was working remotely. He never told her the truth. He could not bear the shame, especially after his father's death 3 years earlier. Before dying, his father used to say, "A man's greatest duty is not becoming rich, it is becoming dependable." That sentence haunted him now. Dependable. He couldn't even pay rent. The rain became stronger. People crowded into the tea stall beside him. The owner, a thin, middle-aged man named Rakesh, poured hot chai into small paper cups, non-stop. Steam filled the air. The smell of ginger and cardamom spread through the station. Arjun searched his wallet. 30 rupees. Enough for 1 tea, maybe 2 biscuits. He hesitated before walking over. Rakesh handed him tea without asking. "You look worse than yesterday," he joked lightly. Arjun forced a smile. Life is competing with Mumbai traffic. Every day it finds new ways to crush me. Rakesh laughed loudly, but then he noticed Arjun's eyes. "You still haven't found work?" Arjun shook his head. "No." Rakesh nodded slowly. Not pity, not judgment, just understanding. That somehow hurt even more. At that moment, a delivery driver rushed into the stall completely drenched. "Paya! 1 chai quickly!" Rakesh was handling too many customers at once. Without thinking, Arjun grabbed a stack of cups and started helping organize them. Then he passed tea to customers, collected coins, wiped the counter. For 10 minutes, the chaos calmed. The driver smiled. "Good helper you have." Rakesh laughed. "He doesn't work here." Everyone laughed lightly, even Arjun. For the first time in weeks, he forgot his problems for a few seconds. When the crowd finally disappeared, Rakesh handed him another chai. "Free." Arjun shook his head immediately. No, I can't take it." Rakesh frowned. "You just helped me." "It was nothing." "It wasn't nothing." Rakesh looked directly at him. "Most people standing here only wait for life to help them. You're the first person who helped without being asked." Those words stayed strangely quiet inside Arjun's mind. That night, back in his tiny rented room, he could not sleep. Rainwater dripped from the ceiling into a steel bucket beside his bed. Drip, drip, drip. He stared at the fan above him, turning slowly. Then he suddenly realized something uncomfortable. For months, he had spent every day thinking only about what life had taken from him, what people were not giving him, what opportunities he deserved. But he never once asked, "What can I still give?" That thought disturbed him deeply. The next morning, he returned to the tea stall, not because he needed tea, because he wanted silence. Rakesh looked surprised. "No interviews today?" Arjun shrugged. "No rejections today either." Rakesh burst out laughing. Again, the morning crowd arrived. Again, the stall became chaotic. Again, Arjun helped naturally, this time longer. An hour passed, then another. Before leaving, Rakesh tried giving him money. Arjun refused immediately, but Rakesh insisted. "Take it. I didn't do this for money. I know. That's why you should take it." Arjun stared at the folded notes in silence. It wasn't much, but something felt different. For the first time in months, money had entered his hands through usefulness instead of desperation. That feeling changed something inside him. Days passed, then weeks. Without officially planning it, Arjun slowly became part of the tea stall. He learned customer names, remembered regular orders, helped elderly passengers carry bags. Sometimes he gave free tea to exhausted workers who had no money left at night. And strangely, life slowly became lighter. Not easier, but lighter. One evening during Ganesh Chaturthi season, the station was crowded with travelers carrying flowers and prayer offerings. A stressed office worker accidentally dropped important documents into muddy water near the platform. People walked past. Nobody stopped. Arjun immediately rushed over, picked everything up carefully, cleaned what he could, and even helped reorganize the papers. The man looked exhausted. "You saved me today," he sighed. He handed Arjun a business card before leaving. "Come tomorrow morning. My company needs someone reliable." Arjun almost didn't go. Years of rejection had trained him to expect disappointment. But the next morning, he wore his cleanest shirt and arrived early. The company was small, nothing glamorous, a logistics business. The salary was average. But during the interview, the owner asked something unexpected. "Why did you help me yesterday?" Arjun thought for a moment, then answered honestly. "I know what it feels like when life is already heavy, and one more problem feels unbearable." The owner stayed silent, then smiled softly. "We can teach skills. We cannot teach heart." Arjun got the job that day, but strangely, the real transformation had already happened before the job arrived. Because for the first time in years, he no longer hated himself. Months later, his life looked different. Not luxurious, not perfect, but peaceful. He moved into a slightly better apartment, started sending money home again. His mother cried the first time he transferred enough to repair the old kitchen roof. One evening during Diwali, Arjun finally visited home after many months. The village glowed with diyas and warm golden lights. Children ran through the streets laughing. Temple bells echoed softly in the distance. His mother opened the door and froze. For a moment, she simply stared at him, then touched his face gently, like mothers do when checking if a dream is real. "You look different," she whispered. Arjun smiled. "I think I am." That night they sat together outside under the quiet sky. The village temple lights flickered nearby. His mother suddenly asked, "Tell me honestly, were things very difficult?" Arjun looked down at his hands, then nodded slowly. "Yes." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I felt ashamed." His mother stayed silent for a long moment. Then she said something he would remember forever. When your father struggled, he never prayed for an easier life. Arjun looked up. He prayed for the strength to remain kind while suffering. The night breeze moved softly through the trees. Somewhere nearby, devotional songs played faintly through old speakers. And suddenly, Arjun understood something deeply. Karma was not punishment. Life was not destroying him. His suffering had slowly been breaking his ego, so his real self could finally emerge. For years, he believed success would bring peace. But now he understood, peace comes first. Then life begins changing. Not because the universe suddenly rewards you, but because your energy changes. Your heart changes. The way you see people changes. And somehow, the world slowly responds differently. A few days later, before returning to Mumbai, Arjun visited the small Shiva temple near the river where his father used to pray. Morning sunlight touched the temple steps. Incense floated softly through the air. Arjun folded his hands quietly, not asking for money, not asking for success, not asking for life to become easy, only gratitude. Because for the first time in many years, he no longer felt abandoned by life. He finally understood. Sometimes God removes everything that gives you false identity, so you can discover who you truly are beneath the fear. And sometimes karma is not punishment, it is redirection. So if life feels heavy right now, if doors keep closing, if you feel invisible, exhausted, or left behind, maybe life is not ending. Maybe your soul is slowly preparing you for a different path. One built not only on ambition, but on compassion, purpose, and inner peace. Because the moment you stop asking, why is life hurting me? And start asking, how can I still bring light into this world? Everything begins to change.